YouTube? It's your boy JayVenom, and this is my Fandeul 4-12-16 NBA Boss Plays of the Day. I appreciate you checking out the channel, JayVenom's DFS Money Wrap, and do me a favor, if you get any info or if I can help you in any way, hit the like, subscribe, or share button. I really appreciate it. Alright, let's go. Point guard, Chalk is Paul, 38 points. Lowry, 35 points. Smith, 32 points. Garagic, 28 points. My sneak attack play tonight is Jackson. He's been pretty consistent over his last 5. Is 35.9. Value plays, Payne, Grant, and Farmar. Let's see, shooting guard, DeRozan, 35 points. Wade, 30 points. Ellis, 25 points. He's been a disappointment to me over about the last 2 months. He was on fire at one point, and then he just I don't understand. If you can shoot the ball, you can shoot. If you can't, you can't. I mean, there's how many teams? 32 teams in the league, 30 plus teams in the league. I remember at the time it was 28 teams. I mean, come on, dude. Anyways, Caldwell Pope, 23 points, or Stevenson Lance, 23 points. Over their I don't know if that's correct about their last 5, but it sounds about right. But I don't know if they're both 17.9 over their last 5. That seems pretty unlikely, but you know, whatever. Venom sneak attack play, the Galloway. I think the Pacers give up unnecessary points to guards. I live in Indiana. I've been a Pacer fan, and it just seemed like their guard defense just is never up to par. And I haven't even looked at the DVP on that. I just assume, and so does Cleveland. They give up a lot of points to guards. Anyways, value plays is Waiters, Boyd, and Crawford. I'm speaking louder just because of the microphone issues. I'm just trying to make everything clear. If you need to turn me down, I completely understand. Chalk is what the computer says, how many, the amount of points, the projection points, not based on overall ownership. So basically, Leonard may not be the highest picked small forward on the slate tonight. Melo, 34 points, and he's a game time decision. George, 33 points. Covington, 29 points. Sneak attack play is Barnes, 26 points. Over his last 5 is 29.4. Value plays is Johnson, Morris, and Thompson. Power forward. Chalk is Aldridge, 35 points. Hold up. 35 points. Griffin, 34 points. Randolph, 30 points. Noel, 30 points. And I think Noel has some upside tonight because Carl Landry is out. So Noel will pick up a few more minutes, and he's a couple point, or not a couple points per minute player, but a point per minute player. My sneak attack play, well, I think it'd be a little bit lower owned. Be Harris, 30 points. Over his last 5 is 30.8, so he's been pretty consistent, getting that 30-point mark that you pretty much need. Value plays is Grant, Williams, and Patterson. All right, let's see. Center, Chalk, and this went back and forth, and every time that I try to adjust the algorithm slightly, it would pull up these two players. I should have put Whiteside at the Chalk because of his last 5 is a little bit more, or a lot more than Drummond, but I'm not gonna sit there and do it all day just to get a Chalk player. Just here it is, Chalk, especially when they got the same projected at the same amount of points. Chalk is Drummond, 34, Whiteside, 34, and I think they're in the same game against each other. So just take note of that. Jordan, 31, however you say his name, Valanciunas, Valanciunas. Yeah, buddy. 29 points. That's probably wrong still. Venom sneak attack play is Cantor. 32 points. Cantor was a value play because of his salary, but as far as his points, he was up there with the best of them. So I'm going to go with Cantor. He's going to be in a lot of my lineups tonight just because you look, the overall projection for chalk center is 34 points. That's 2 points, and you're going to be paying 3,000 or 4,000 more. Man, I wouldn't say that. I think Cantor's come up, so maybe 2,000 or 3,000 more, 2,000 more for Whiteside or Drummond, and they're projected to pretty much around the same points. Doesn't mean that Whiteside and Drummond can't go off for 50. You know, they're upside, but Cantor, believe it or not, playing 40 plus minutes has a huge upside also. Value plays is Lopez, Mahinmi, and Adams. If you want to stack games tonight, these are games that I would suggest you stack. Philly at Toronto. I know it's a 10.5 point spread, or 203 points. And then Miami at Detroit, 2 points, and with 201 point total. And I like the 2 point spread because that means there's going to be a lot of rebounds, block shots. Game is going to stay close. Starters are going to stay in the game. And then, something like that could go down to the wire, even the overtime game. Vegas, if you don't know by now, and it may be too late for some of you in the NBA season, but please apply it to the MLB season. Use Vegas as a big part of your planning for slates. Vegas, you look at player props if you can. Definitely look at the lines because they're going to tell you where most of the action is going to be. A lot of times you'll see guys game stack and they'll stack 2 games and with the highest point totals. I mean, that just makes sense. You know what I mean? You pick out the players in those 2 games, and then you ride out with those players. And then you mix and match around those players. That's just a smart thing to do. Everybody has their own technique and ways of doing things, and you guys are paying attention to mine and the predictions that I use a lot of computers and a little bit of gut. I never use gut in projecting points. I always use straight computer. But when you putting, I use my gut when I'm actually filling out my slate. You know what I mean? And just I look at the projections, look at who they're playing against, who's out, and then I plug in my players. And I'll be honest, before this week and into last week, the previous couple weeks, I've been just getting crushed. And a lot of that's because a lot of players have been sitting out, last minute, people decide not to play, sitting out for rest. I don't get the rest part. Especially if you ain't got nothing to play for. The people that are there are paying their money to come and see you guys play. The NBA is branded everywhere. These stars are all over TV, all in your local stores. But then you sometimes, like, if I want to go see the Pacers play, I got to travel 2-3 hours to go watch a game, which I don't mind, but that's 3 hours there. After the game, that's 3 hours back. A lot of times I just come back. Coming back, and then you go up there and then somebody sits, which is straight bullshit. But that's my rant for today. Y'all bring home that bankroll. Put your scores in the comment section and let's try to figure out how we can make this better. It's your boy JayVenom. Hit me up on Twitter at JayVenom812, and I'll rap to y'all tomorrow. 1.